Okay, link me the video and then I can watch it. Might turn you off. I don't think so. I still enjoy PvE. PvP is just a small part of it. I wouldn't judge a game off of one side like a lot of people do. Oh, I've seen her in Asmingle's thumbnails.
Hey Buns, so today I want to talk about an aspect of Final Fantasy XIV that I never in a million years thought I would like or care about. Because for the last 6 years that I have been playing the game, I've heard nothing but PvP sucks, PvP is a waste of time, or like it burns when I PvP. I just put up a poll on YouTube that showed that the majority of
Do you PvP in Final Fantasy? Yes, all the time. 6%. I did it once or twice. 20%. I never tried it. 42%. Only the frontline daily 17%. FFXIV has PvP question mark 13%. Okay, dude.
People have never tried it. Maybe they went once or twice or just found out today that the game has it. But I started doing PvP during the recent Moogle Tomestones event because it was a good way for me to get tomes for my Great Serpent of Ringa. And I
like how the game shows ring. That's so cool to me.
I feel like this feeling creeping up on me.
Make more expression.
Am I? Is this fun? Is this fun that I'm experiencing? How could that be? I thought PvP sucked. Then season 20 of the Feast rolled around and I figured, you know, what the hell, I'll try it. And it's been some of the most fun I have ever had in the game. It is a super
She's having fun.
Like, I'm a healer, but like, I'm not gonna try to toot my own horn here. Like, I'm very much a scrub. I just barely hit silver rank and I'm new.
So there's ranking.
There's still a lot for me to learn, but that said.
Chat, what is the PvP? So I heard it's 40 before. Is it if you die, you res and come back and fight again, like Lost Ark? Or if you die, is it over? How does it work? I kind of like the Lost Ark system where it's like whoever gets the most kill within that 3v3 match wins. You die and res? Wait, I like that then. That's a good system. That makes it where it's okay to die. In World of Warcraft 3v3, if you die, it's over. Tournament player levels, like the high-end levels, they just abuse tank legendaries, BM trinkets. They just try to live forever. PvE trinket, like they just try to live forever, right? And then cap on one mistake. But I just don't like it when everyone's unkillable. I like it when people are like killable and then they res and come back and fight, which makes it less punishing in a way.
Been times when I've felt unkillable as a healer. Like there's the feeling of having a whole enemy team just like wailing on you and like throwing everything they got at you and you're just not dying. You just won't die. It is such a power trip. I have had a blast doing it. Like you just feel like a god. You're just like, well,
I hate when healers are gods, I'm not gonna lie.
Come at me. I love this. I can do this all day. I think that you will only have that experience with a team that is not coordinating very well. Like you can absolutely kill the healer. If like you coordinate a little better, especially me. But that's not to say that there aren't huge problems with people.
When I play like Warsong Gulch and this druid starts hitting me and I'm like, oh hell no, I hit him back, realize he's a healer, and I fight him for like 10 minutes and I go, okay, F this, I can't kill this guy, and I just walk away from him. He's still hitting me, but I just hate it when healers are unkillable. I think it's really stupid.
PvP that I've already been able to see in my limited experience with it so far.
I'm speaking of WoW, okay?
Literally only one map. That's it. The Crystal Tower. So of course it's gonna get stale. There's not enough rewards to make people want to.
I'm gonna make a comment on that. I don't think it matters if there's like one map or two map. If they just balance the game around that one map, I actually wouldn't mind. Like look at League of Legends. They have one map, but they balance the characters around it. So the game is still good, right? Having more maps doesn't mean it's good. It's like Heroes of the Storm. They keep throwing in shit maps, and then people don't like it. Just have one good map. I don't want like game developers to feel pressured in putting a lot of maps. You know what I mean, chat?
So of course it's gonna get stale. There's not enough rewards to make people want to do it. Like wolf marks stuff, you can easily farm that brain deadly in the daily frontline roulette, which people do for XP. So yeah, there's people queuing for daily frontline PvP for PvE reasons, and they're not checked into PvP at all. Getting top 100 is really cool, but it's very intimidating. It's a high-end achievement, and most
Would you get that sick-looking gear, chat? Top 10. Oh, it's a weapon. What about this gear?
It's a high-end achievement, and most people are not.
Top 100.
Just look at that and they're like, okay, well, I'm never gonna get that.
Wait, this is cool. Number of reward 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What does this mean? You get a mount and a skin. That's the same thing in WoW. What do you mean this is not that cool? WoW players have been fighting for this stupid mount that gets recolored the whole season. They worked their butt off for that, man.
And so we need more rewards for the other tiers that are interesting and cool. Like you can get these weapons with wolf collars in the lower tiers, but like I don't think that they have ever been changed. Like it's the same weapons that have always been, and frankly, they're ugh.
Hello, I'm back because I missed a few things in the video. I think adding new cosmetics such as transmogs for weapons or gear for each new season is a really good thing for the game. That incentivizes a lot of people to play. I know in WoW, if you get 1800 right now, you get like a sick looking elite mog. That makes a lot of people come back to play the game. So I think that they should definitely work on for sure. Having a new mog for each season, that's a plus for the game.
Weapons that have always been, and frankly, they're ugh. You know, maybe that store mount that just released Cruise Chaser, like that might have been a cool PvP reward.
I'm just gonna say as well, for WoW PvPers, we don't really... I mean, we do like the mount and the transmog, but what gamers really care about is their rating. That's what matters the most, chat. Like, having a ranking system means we're happy already. On top of that, if there's titles, I don't know if Final Fantasies have titles for the top of the ladder, but if they have that, I mean, WoW players, that's all they fight for. The same people that's been playing for 15 years, that one title, they go monster mode for that. So if they have a title, a mount, or a transmog, they'll play for it. But for me personally, I just like to see myself on the top ladder, like the top 100, and if I'm up there, I get happy. There's a lot of people like that too. I'm also saying this because I played Apex, I played Lost Ark, League of Legends. Whenever there's a rank to grind for, from like bronze to silver, gold, diamond, etc., I don't know, there's just that satisfaction of pushing to that next entry. That's what gamers strive for. So as long as the gameplay is enjoyable and there is something to fight for, such as a ranking spot, I think that's healthy for the game.
Feast. The matchmaking sucks. You can easily get matched with a brand new player, like baby's first PvP. Like
Yeah,
it's a
that
team
can
full of
probably
gold and silver
suck.
players who will absolutely wreck you. Frontlines is a huge mess because, like I said, it's filled with.
I think that is just a thing where if more people play, it gets fixed. If there's less people playing, the matchmaking system, they will hook you up with gold and bronze or silver. It's like in WoW RPG, you can be 1800 and you start facing like 2700 teams and you just get rolled all day.
With a lot of people just there wanting to get their
That's how
XP.
RPG is, because there's no one
And
playing
so
RPG.
it's huge crowds running around like chocobos with their heads cut off. So, I mean, there's room for improvement. And I decided to have a chat with someone who's more experienced, a lot more experienced with PvP. That's Brian Ricardo, who runs the game's biggest PvP Discord server, Revival. He also streams PvP on
Hello.
Twitch and has a PvP-focused
Brian
YouTube
Ricardo.
channel. Promise over to
I
you.
like his
Brian
name.
actually asked me to send him some of my VODs for myself doing PvP, and he will, on his YouTube channel, look over what I did right and what I did wrong. And so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that's something that might be embarrassing for me, actually. I asked Brian what's the highest
I would
PvP
be
rank he
embarrassed
ever
too.
achieved, and he
Because
said in
I'm speaking for myself, not her, by the way. Because I'm new at the game.
Solo Queue Feast, I've ended a season as rank 2. There was also a season where I had 3 characters in the top 10 on different data centers at the same time. Some people see this as taking spots on the leaderboard, but there's no way for me to showcase the content without playing multiple characters. My goal for years is just to showcase Feast on my stream. He said that going for rank 1 in general takes dedication and defending your spot, which he has no interest in doing. I asked if he was ever discouraged to play PvP because of the generally negative attitude that people have about it. Like that was the case with me. That's something that kept me from ever trying it in a serious way. He said, yeah, he was discouraged by other people for years. He said it's much better now, but in the past, I would get treated like a joke just by playing and streaming PvP content because it was considered bad. People sometimes have toxic experiences with people in the PvP community or just from playing.
I feel like PvP, you can never have a good outcome. If the game developers ever like look at the PvP community, I think they have to understand they can't make everyone happy. Every game has toxic people in it. Even WoW, the high-end people, they're really racist and mean. If they ever lose a match, they're gonna BM you hard. or if they lose a match, they're gonna talk crap to their team, right? I feel like that's inevitable.
In general.
Developers shouldn't care about that too much. It's in every game. Overwatch League, everyone flames their team if they die. Oh my god, my team sucks. It's like that, chat. It's always like that.
Sometimes that stigma gets associated with me. PvP is toxic, so I'm toxic for PvPing. It's a similar thing that hardcore raiders.
How are you toxic for? That's stupid, I think. I like people that respect though. There are people that I respect. Is it too low?
have to deal with when they're called toxic. I asked if that negative attitude was justified at all. Like, are people just expecting Final Fantasy XIV's PvP to be something that it's not? And he said that in some ways it is justified. Major complaints that he often hears are Feast has a lot of cheating in it. I also had heard that. I had heard that team ranked PvP is just filled with win trading. He said that some data centers are worse than others, but I think it's absolutely valid to not want to play with and against cheaters, especially if you are a new person who has to learn from the beginning. He actually said something really concerning here. He said that Square Enix has hinted at the temporary and maybe permanent removal of the Feast. And one of the reasons he's okay with that, like with this being the last Feast season, is because it's a competitive mode that's not moderated or managed very well. It's not moderated to the extent that it needs to be great. And a lot of veterans feel that way as well. He said anyone can climb the leaderboard of Feast if you have the skill, time, and willpower. So that's why I still encourage people to try, but I would preferably see next to no cheating in a competitive environment. Since the new mode coming in Endwalker is supposed to be casual, I imagine less cheating, but I still would like to see that mode get moderated well. Some of the examples of things that people are doing that is not moderated well, that they are getting away with, is the win trading that I mentioned. But he actually said that win trading in the Feast is rare. Boosting is another problem. Basically, people pay somebody to pilot their character to get in the top 100. He said maybe 5 out of the 100 on the board are paid to be there. He also mentioned third-party tools, like just straight-up hacks people use. Like, for example, people make their character run faster, or they'll give themselves a faster global cooldown. That mount is so cool. Or they'll run scripts where they'll just automatically do an action based on an enemy's action. For example, people getting stunned milliseconds after a limit break goes out. And
I've seen this
said that
in
general,
a video.
The community does not support third-party tools, but it's not shocking to see something suspicious a couple times a day. He said, I know it all sounds horrible, but again, if you're a good player, you can make it on the leaderboards. When it comes to PvP in general, he doesn't think the negativity is justified. Like, you can hate...
I think if there's cheaters, it's pretty discouraging. They should try to get rid of the cheaters ASAP.
Feast, but still love Frontlines and Hidden Gorge. Those are very casual and can be fun to play with. Yeah, I can actually attest to that. Hidden Gorge was the gateway drug for me getting into PvP. He said, sadly, though, a lot of people will deem those modes bad without even entering. It's a vicious cycle of people saying it's bad, so the new players don't try it, and then the new players say it is bad, and I'm guilty of that as well.
See, that's the problem of PvP. There's so many, like, problems it brings. I know in WoW they have boosters, win traders, everything. PvP just brings in so many weird people, man. Maybe I'm part of it. No, I think I'm one of the normals. Like, I think even on this YouTube channel, there have been times when I just dissed PvP, or I said, you know, oh, who cares about PvP? Let me just skip this PvP stuff. The comment he made is pretty vague about cheaters because he's in top 100. He faces the same people in the 100. He faces them before, but cheater is more prevalent on actual climb. You're the most normal person here? Oh, thank you, dude.
Everybody was saying that it wasn't good, and now I feel like an idiot for perpetuating that, because now that I've played Hidden Gorge and I've played the Feast and I've had so much fun, I'm seeing that, like, I think a lot of this is not justified. He said that people should try everything for themselves, see what they like and don't like. If they end up not liking any of the modes, that's valid, but vocalizing the actual issues and letting Square Enix know is better than telling people just don't bother PvPing or PvP is dead. The latter doesn't help the community, nor does it help Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, I completely agree. For Final Fantasy XIV to be a fuller package as an MMO, we need the PvP to be good, and we need the resources to go into PvP. Like, as a quick side note here, I remember in the most recent live letter, Yoshida had been asked a question at the Q&A by a player who brought up the fact that one of the PvP modes felt neglected. And Yoshida was like, I'm sorry, but all our resources for PvP are wrapped up in the...
Oh, bye-bye. That was president of North Korea. He's asking for a WoW tutor, but I said I don't do WoW anymore.
the new PvP mode we have coming in Endwalker right now.
Truthfully speaking, we're still observing the situation, doing minor adjustment due to the various development ongoing to our resources for PvP is focused on small-scale PvP working on the right now. We're going to bring forward the adjustment to Endwalker, but rest assured, I wonder how it's gonna go. Yeah, I hope they don't get crapped on for PvP. I don't want that. I'd feel bad.
So, like, it seems to me like it's just an issue. They don't have enough resources. They don't have enough money for it because maybe there's just not enough engagement with it, so they can't justify putting more money into it. But it's sort of like a vicious cycle.
We need a proper TVT or 1v1 arena. I don't think in an MMO 1v1 would ever work. The same thing in any other games. It's just the classes are different and each class has its own unique toolkit. And one class is better than the other in a 1v1 scenario. I love 1v1s, don't get me wrong. Like, I love 1v1s in every game. However, it's very hard to make it a 1v1 game, in my opinion.
Improved. The short answer is, I believe Square Enix needs PvP dedicated staff.
Feast's weak point is fixed heal tank melee range. Oh, is that how you queue in? 4 people tank heal melee range. Is it always like that? Yeah, that can be pretty hard. Pushing for 1v1 act like fighting games that are more bad. Yeah, that's like more of Street Fighter or King of Fighters stuff.
PvP GMs, PvP community team person, and a developer to focus on PvP modes. Communication is probably the biggest downfall for PvP in 14. This was kind of a surprise for me because usually we say that good communication is one of the things Final Fantasy 14 does best, but I'm coming from a PvE mostly perspective, so to hear that this was a problem in PvP was really concerning, and he gave some examples of—
Honestly, dude, I'm gonna straight up honest. I played a lot of PvP. If PvE is doing good, just focus on PvP, man. You don't need to add in PvP. I'm a PvP player. I love PvP, but PvP just brings toxicity and negativity. And if it's not good, people are gonna complain so much about it. Maybe just focus on PvP. You know what I mean? Bringing PvP brings in negative people. I swear.
the lack of communication. He said, "We don't know when."
I'm one of them. Like, while PvP players complain a lot because it sucks, right? FFPP player will be the same. They're gonna complain a lot and say nobody cares about us. The developers suck. That's how it's gonna be, chat. But I'm not the one to say. They could. I'm happy that they're trying and investing in PvP. We'll see how it goes, okay?
When the feast seasons are coming, we get a lodestone post 1 week before the season is arriving, and that's it. We don't know why Astragalos is a locked duty, and when it's coming back. Square Enix originally said it was temporarily locked, but it's been 4 years. We don't know why jobs get buffed or nerfed at all anymore, or if things are being tested properly anymore. We had one patch like this with these types of details, and he showed me a screenshot here. Other games get patch notes like this all the time. It would be amazing to have this all the time.
That sounds like Steve's, chat. That sounds like Steve's. Other games get patched all the time. Steve makes a video. A Blizzard, League of Legends gets patches all the time. Yeah, we're gonna have that in Final Fantasy 2.
PvP is essentially not advertised. The JP community team used to have a PvP show, but that's no longer in existence. The NA and EU community team focus around raiding and art. There's only been a handful of PvP dedicated streams. Some GMs are unaware of PvP. There was a GM who told a player to blacklist someone who was being toxic, but you can't blacklist people who spam quick chat and feast. It is clear if someone AFKs in a match, and I can tell you in my short experience on the feast, I've seen this happen multiple times, where a player
is there people that AFK?
attacking. They just stand there and they give up, and they're basically griefing their team.
That.
He said it should be an easy protocol to temporarily ban or jail someone for stuff like this, but it goes free. Even the next level would be removing their access to join the instance like other games do, like a 24-hour penalty. Honestly, I am flabbergasted to hear all of this stuff. Like, I don't think most of us realize how badly PvP has been neglected. Like, the lack of communication is inexcusable. I asked if some jobs are just straight up bad in PvP or if there are some that are OP, and he said it really depends on the mode. In Frontlines and Hidden Gorge, you want a variety of jobs so you can take advantage of having different buffs, debuffs,
Yeah, it's
and
like
crowd control
RBGs
tools.
too.
S tier
RBGs
for
and Arena is
Frontlines
different.
includes Warrior, White Mage, Black Mage, Summoner, Dragoon, Ninja, and
AFKs and BG gets me so mad. Yeah, me too, man. When I was ranking as a Horde in Classic WoW, our AV queues are 1 hour. And then when I finally get in, there's like 10 people AFKing. I get pissed, dude. I report all of them. But then they stay in the game throughout the whole match. And we end and lose. And then they get their points. And they don't get kicked out. I get so tilted, man. So tilted.
Bard. Hidden Gorge, he said, is the same S tier. Like all those jobs I just listed are excellent, except Machinist is much better than Bard because the Bioblaster debuff is a very strong tool to make mechs and structures easier to kill. As for the Feast, he said Scholar is the only broken job in Feast right now, where it's actually just way better than the other healers. He said that on most data centers, the majority of top 10 are Scholar. If you want to learn more about the Feast season meta, you can check out his website. He does write articles.
What is that?
About that. I'll put a link to that in the description box below. I asked what the PvP community is like in general, and he said that it's awesome. It's filled with people who love PvP and want to see new players and enjoy helping them. Like, they want to see this game mode that they care about actually grow. He said, of course, he has to mention the bad side. However, every community has bad apples in it, and there are people who are toxic and will cheat, as we talked about a little earlier. But overall, it really is a minority of people. Like, block, report, and move on. He said his staff works
there
hard
will
to
always
keep
be
the
like a
Discord
group of toxic
clean and
people.
active. There is a difference between being mad and being toxic, he said. Being mad is a temporary emotion that can happen from losing. However, people harassing and throwing matches is not being mad. That is being toxic. I asked what he hoped to see from the new PvP mode coming in Endwalker, and he said he hopes to see a fun 8v8 mode that is well moderated and communicated by Square Enix. We already know there will be an objective, so I'm kind of thinking it might be capture the flag.
8v8 mode.
I hope that.
And WoW, RPGs are 10v10. And a lot of people, not every RPG community, but we were trying to go for a 6v6 RPG. Maybe that might be good too. 8 is the biggest party in the game. Got it. Problem in the game is PvP community is less than 1% of the entire Final Fantasy XIV Square Enix. Wait, let me tell you something. Okay. I made a long video. It's called Final Fantasy, The Downfall of WoW PvP. I don't want Final Fantasy to go in the wrong route, or I shouldn't say that. Who am I to say that, right? But I think they should do objective gameplay, like a 66, capture the flag, or a map like League of Legends where you like push towers. I don't know. I think objective gameplay is way more entertaining to watch than WoW Arena, like people pillar humping and just sudden death kill, right? Asmin said the same thing long time ago about WoW. He said when he shows his dad Arena gameplay, his dad has no idea what's going on. But when he shows his dad PUBG, he understands it because there's objective. There's a circle closing. You need to kill everyone, right? Even for my friends who don't play WoW, if I show them WoW Arena, they don't really show interest. But if they watch League or Overwatch, they understand what's going on. There's an objective, you're pushing, etc. I feel like if they want to take PvP really, really seriously, they should do an objective gameplay rather than arena-focused gameplay. Like, I love arenas, but as a viewer, POV, or in the long term, like tournaments, rather than watching a deathmatch, I feel like an objective gameplay is more exciting to watch. Even for a commentator. I know a WoW commentator, a lot of them, and they're miserable commentating for WoW because they don't know when anything's gonna die. But when something dies, everyone starts screaming, right? But if it's like a capture the flag mode and they're capturing flag, everyone understands. Like, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is running the flag, almost there, but the team intercepting. Oh my god, can they win? Like, they could add a lot into that commentary as well, right? There's just a lot more where people can understand. And people are probably now going to think about RPG. However, Blizzard balances WoW on 3v3 arena. Hyper focuses on it. It's never been about RPG or 2v2. That's why they don't have titles or mount rewards for 2v2 and RPG. The classes are balanced for 3v3, not RPG. So it just doesn't work. If Blizzard does invest in RPG and balances the game around RPG, I feel like that would be a different atmosphere. And it might even do better, but it is a big step. It is a big investment. Blizzard's biggest problem for PvP side, from what I know, they lack in fun. Blizzard has a big fund. Portion of it goes to PvE, raiding, dungeons, environment design like arts, music, etc. Tower of Torghast, renown, conduits, legendaries, and then that small portion that's left goes into PvP. So they already have a small amount of fund that they work with, and it's just hard for them to distribute it to arena or RPG.
Have had with it. It's really opened my eyes.
Subscribe? Okay,
about
I'll
it.
subscribe.
So exciting for me to learn about how badly this game mode has been neglected, the lack of communication from Square Enix. I'm shocked to hear this, and it's not okay. We can only hope that in Endwalker things start to look up. Have you tried PvP at all in Final Fantasy 14? What has your experience in PvP been like? Has it been very confusing and overwhelming? Did you go in once and then never return? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. And
I
also,
will try
if you
PvP.
like this video, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon or on Twitch. You can also support the channel for free just by clicking the subscribe button. Or by
Who was
sharing
the
this
other
video
guy?
with your fellow Warriors of Light. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you
Brian.
next.
Yeah, I'll sub to him too. PPC chat. I support. I just hope that they don't waste a lot of resources on the wrong thing and make people more angry about PvP. That's what I'm worried about. Because that's what WoW's been doing, right? I know for a fact the developers, when I even talk to them in BlizzCon, instead of trying to focus on what they have, this is what they always do. You know how they add in like Warfronts, Island Expedition, Tower of Torghast, those kind of stuff? Even for PvP, instead of focusing on what we had, which is good, they were investing more into brawls. And when me and Stoops were talking to a dev, I won't name drop them so they don't get hate. When we were talking to a dev, like he keeps moving the conversation from arena or BGs to like, what do you think about brawl? The brawl's really good, isn't it? Like he just keeps talking about the brawl, so you can tell that they're investing a lot into the brawl. But I don't think the players liked brawl at all. I think some of them were really fun. I like the 6v6 matches, those are fun, but most of them, I don't know, pretty questionable. I feel like they could have spent all that resource on what they had to improve on that. I don't. Wow, we're taking a break. I still play both. Yeah, I don't want people to think that I quit one or the other. I want to add one thing. If they want to, do they have Trinket in Final Fantasy chat for PvP? If they want to add in a good system, add what Lost Ark has. They have a dash on a 10-second cooldown, and it allows people to like avoid big damages. Like there might be a kidney shot or cyclone coming, and you could dash. If you time it right, you avoid that. I feel like that is so big in a game. I love games that have that. CC only lasts 2 to 3 seconds. I love that. If it's really short, I love that. That's a plus for me. I hate WoW how CCs are like 10-hour long. Poly, stun, fear. I hate that so much. Healer can CC one time. I feel like if they want to add something interesting, adding that little dash thing like Lost Ark has is amazing. Like big damage incoming, but he dashes and he runs out of that. You know what I mean, chat? I love having that kind of system in a game. Hello, friends. Can I join you guys? My family right here, chat. Like a dodge roll from Dark Souls. Yeah, something like that. It's similar to that. People that played Lost Ark, they know what I'm talking about. PV is amazing. Yes, I hear. I'm enjoying Final Fantasy so far. 10 out of 10. The dialogues, I love. The reading, I'm not a fan of, but I'm kind of used to it now. So I don't mind it as much. Call me whining baby, but Mage Rogue CC is what made me give up on Arena. Yeah, that's what I mean. Final Fantasy having shorter CC, I feel like that's a plus for me. I think the game sucks when you're CC'd forever.